Hello there, my name is Chiagozie Wizu. I'm the Executive Director of Africa Franchise Institute. I'm also the Managing Director of Franchise Business Development Services. In the past 6 years, I led the project Nigerian franchise industry, the development of the growth of the Nigerian franchise industry. And it's been a very interesting journey. And I want to talk to you out there about the growth we've experienced in the past 6 years and why you should key in and participate in the opportunities that this fast-growing industry is creating. We are bringing to you a project harnessing professional services opportunities in the growing Nigerian franchise industry, where I will be discussing with other leaders in the ecosystem, from a leading financial institution and an expert in intellectual property law, a partner in Jackson 80 and Edu, who will be also talking to us about franchise regulation and things around the franchise law, and also a business leader whose business is the fastest growing business in the fitness industry in Africa, the fastest growing fitness business in Africa. So in this very conversation, why are we bringing this conversation? We want to let businesses who are supposed to be providing professional services, support services to the growing Nigerian franchise sector know more about the opportunities that are there, and also for career professionals who would desire to become subject matter experts in the franchise sector and be able to attract better career opportunities, working with teaming businesses that are leveraging the franchise model in Nigeria to grow their businesses. So in these past 6 years, we had conducted a study which was sponsored by DFID in Nigeria, and that study benchmarked the opportunities of that franchising has delivered in key economies like South Africa, UAE, India, the UK, and the US. It might interest you to know, just to give a little bit of a background, that the UAE economy has a very simple strategy of all the growth that they've experienced over the years. That strategy is tourism that is driven by franchising. Currently, close to 50% of the businesses in UAE are franchises, and they just opened that economy to attract, businesses that tourists would like to visit. So when you visit the malls and go to all those attractive places and visit the nice restaurants and you shop, all those are mostly franchises. In the US, 1 in every 12 businesses is a franchise. South Africa's economy currently about 15% of their GDP generated through franchising. Not to talk about job creation opportunities. Now, somebody might be saying, why franchising? What's the difference? The thing is that franchising builds the economy. Franchising is a major social development tool because it's able to create jobs. It's able to, as businesses are able to replicate their successful models, they are able to replicate jobs. Businesses that are not able to be sustained and replicate success, they are not able to keep jobs. It is a tool that has really helped in enterprise building. So if you look around in Nigeria, you might not be able to find anything more than, you may struggle to count the number of Nigerian brands that are second generation businesses. We have about 41 million micro, small and medium scale enterprises in Nigeria. But of all these businesses, apart from the fact that in the next 5 years, about 85% of these businesses stand the risk of failing. But on the flip side, franchise businesses have globally just 15% failure rate, and in South Africa precisely just about 5% failure rate. So when you look at these two models, the startup versus the franchise model, you do not compare them in terms of results of business sustainability and business growth. So the idea about that is that the franchise model helps businesses, startups, people that want to venture into new businesses, who do not have what it takes to build an enterprise, who do not have the experience, right, to build a sustainable business, to leverage a franchise model. So in the past 6 years, we've set up institutions. We have done a lot of projects. We've done education through Africa Franchise Institute, which is a business school that works in collaboration with the Enterprise Development Center and Faith Foundation, and to bring education, advocacy, and awareness towards just supporting business standardization, scaling, and rapid expansion. And as FBDS, which is a consulting business, we support businesses to build the franchise model expansion system, so that they are able to using that model to replicate their success, compete, dominating locally and competing globally. And in these past years, we've supported over 30 local brands to start franchising in Nigeria, and a number of them have begun to franchise abroad. And these things are the results that we've had. So coming back to the subject matter, harnessing the opportunities for professional service providers, whether career people or businesses. By the way, who are these career people we are talking about? Every franchise brand requires certain subject matter experts, right? And many of these experts are working in other business models. However, when these franchise brands want to hire the experts like operations managers, the training managers, the human resource managers, the marketing manager, or the facility manager. I mean, all of these roles are roles that have key role to play in business expansion and replication. Because when you talk about HR or training, you talk about people. One of the key pillars of franchising is training and onboarding, right? And it was called knowledge transfer, proper onboarding, so that the people are able to retain the standards and the know-how and the processes and operations of the business. Same applies to the business development, to the operations people, and a number of the roles I've talked about. So the challenge we have today in terms of the gap is that we have a lot of businesses that are looking to hire experts. We have worked with USC, we have worked with iFitness, we have worked with Chicken Republic, we've worked with Eat and Go, the master franchisee of Cold Stone Creamy, Domino Pizza, and Pinkberry. And these businesses are always looking for individuals, for career professionals who will be the right fit, who do not only understand the technical know-how or are experts in their career path, whether it's business development, operations, and all of that, but they actually understand the core need of the business, which is about expansion. How will you, as an operations person, support operations of a brand that has 100, 200, 300 locations? So if you look in Nigeria, as large as our economy is, you see a struggle in achieving what similar businesses are able to do in other countries. South Africa is a smaller economy with a smaller population, but many of the businesses we have here in Nigeria, whether it's in pharmacy or in retail and stuff, some of them have up to 300, 400 outlets in just one country. So we need the structure beyond, in terms of people that have the capability, the right capacity, who understand the needs of expanding businesses like franchises, that it's very important for them to be able to maintain their standards and be able to, as they are growing and expanding, they are able to replicate their model in a way they are able to deliver the same proposition, the same taste, the same look and feel, the same experience, customer experience at every single location where they open, whether it is locally or whether it is internationally. On the other hand, service suppliers, there's a huge gap for these businesses because they are not able to find funding solutions, financial institutions that have tailored financial services that meet their needs. So let me give you a little bit of a hint. The franchisor really, because of the responsibility he has over the network of franchise brands that he's going to be supporting, he requires investment in infrastructures, in assets, in logistics. There's going to be movement of goods and all sorts of things. And they invest in warehousing. Some of them that are into manufacturing and production. They produce, products that will be retailed at the franchise outlets. They invest in in equipment and all sort of tools. You know, food businesses invest in central kitchen, for example, right? There's also technology gap. Many of them require solid technology for business automation and replication, right? And sometimes it costs tens of millions, if not more, right, for these businesses to build the right technology solution. So as I'm talking about, I've mentioned the banks, I've mentioned the technology solution providers. There are insurance companies that need to provide insurance services to all the locations. There are business services providers. There are branding businesses because it's the same branding, the same look and feel, that you have. But there are law firms that need to provide support because franchise, model is the most controlled sort of business. So every single bit of the contract, whether it's with employees or the suppliers or the franchisees or whatever stakeholder, it's very unique in the way it is designed. And intellectual property is very, very key. Nigerians need education to respect intellectual property in Nigeria, to understand, the value that is placed on intellectual property. I can go on and on mentioning different types of businesses. Now, the challenge is that our local brands in Nigeria that have tried to franchise have gotten terrible services from businesses who do not understand the uniqueness and the needs of the franchise businesses, and they provide services like they are providing it to dealerships or distributorships or ordinary partnerships, and these our local brands, they run into problems, and you get to hear, oh, now franchising will not work in Nigeria. But it is because of organizations who are not yet closing the gap as it is done in other countries. All these other countries I've talked about in the study we conducted, they have tailored solutions, services. Even in the banks, they have franchise experts that are manning a franchise desk that has a special proposition to the industry. Now, whether you are in government and you are watching this video, or you are an agency of the government, or you're a foreign development agency, of course, we are calling on you, right, to key into what is happening, right? We are proving the same opportunities, the same results that franchising has delivered in other countries. This business model is going to help us to build our economy. It is tough doing business in Nigeria, and we just want to see how we can help more Nigerians that are venturing into business who would rather stand a higher chance of failing building their own businesses to take a look at the franchise model, right? To buy a franchise because of its high rate of proven success, right? And so doing, of course, it pays back hugely to the economy. It makes huge social impact, and it helps our enterprises to grow and establish. So I'm inviting you to this conversation. We are going into the room to have this very deliberation. See you at the other side.